For Chapter 7 homework, we'll actually be working in Excel. And so for number 1, you are going to search the internet and find vertical software packages for training operations management. And then on number 2, you will look at outsourcing in general for the TIMS system and list advantages and disadvantages of outsourcing. And then finally in number 3, you will be calculating payback, return on investment, and net present value for the TIMS system. And like I told you before, you will have to go find the cost and benefit information in the SCR intranet, and you'll look in the data library and review the question summary and the cost benefit summary. And you will organize all of this data into columns for years 0, 1, 2, and 3 and rows for the items. And so I'll get you started on it. I'm not going to give you all of the answers, but I'll get you started on that. Okay, so you'll start out, you're going to have a worksheet, and you can call it whatever you want to call it. And you'll start out with your developmental cost, and you're going to have your system development, and there'll be some other startup cost. Then you'll look at your operational cost. I can tell you some of these. Administration. This one, look for your records assistant salary. Tech support. What you're looking for here is an increase or decrease in tech support. Training salaries. Supplies that will be needed for the new system. How much it is per student is a good way to look at that. And facilities. Okay, and so then you're going to set that up, and then you'll go across for your columns, and you'll have year 0, which is the initial setup, year 1, year 2, and year 3. And when you get done entering all your costs, you'll have your total cost. And then you'll come down here and have your estimated revenues, which you should again be able to find in your information that you have for the SCR system. Now, another hint I'll give you, the developmental cost and the other cost, development cost is the heading, operational cost is a heading. Make sure we get all this right. Okay, these two are only going to be in year 0. That's the initial development cost. And your other projected cost will only be in years 1, 2, and 3. So this is where your numbers will be for these. And then obviously your estimated revenues will be as the years go along. Okay, and so from that, using your worksheet data, from that you will go in and you will calculate a payback analysis like I showed you in Toolkit C, and do a chart, and then you'll calculate a return on investment. And I can tell you, just as a check figure, but you still need to show your work, the return on investment should be 40.7%. That'll help you kind of make sure you're working along the right path. And with that, remember, you've got to come up with your total benefits minus your total cost divided by your total cost. And I can also help you out a little bit. Your net present value, what you should come up with is $229,392. Now, you do need to show your work on these for credit. Show your calculations. The factors that you need are based on a 10% interest rate. And for year 0, they're 1. For year 1, it'll be 0.909. I think these are in your book, but just in case they're not. For year 2, 0.826. And for year 3, 0.751. And these are the factors that you will need to calculate your net present value. Again, you're going to be using Toolkit C quite a bit for this chapter, for this particular task. Okay, and then finally you're going to get to question 4 or task 4, and you are discussing prototyping and the concepts discussed in the chapter, what it is, how it's used, and so forth. And that should get you through chapter 7. So have a great weekend, and I will see you not this Thursday, it's fall break, but I will see you on October 24th. Have a great break. See you then. This is due, by the way, on October 24th.